Let's learn how to see waste. I'm going to pull up a video here with employees working, and Paul Akers is the one commentating, and he's going to tell us about the waste that he sees in the video. Let's see if we can see waste together, and then we'll discuss it at the end.
So now we went downstairs in the basement where they were doing some form work, and I just noticed pretty low productivity, people struggling to work, bending over. There should have been workbenches that they were cutting all this rebar on. This guy probably took 5 minutes to cut these 3 pieces of rebar, and it should have been maybe about a 10-second operation, if even that long. But because they didn't really have the right tool, didn't have the right setup, they struggled a lot. You got one guy using a skill saw down the ground, and he's really struggling, and the other guy's trying to cut this rebar, and he's got to cut quite a bit of it too. As it turned out, he's got to make all these short little dowels and pins. Then the supervisor comes over and gives him a hard time, and now this guy's going to walk with this board over to where he's going to be using it on the form area. And the immediate thing I thought of is, why is he cutting it in one place and then walking to another place? Why doesn't he have everything staged right where he's doing the form work to eliminate the transportation? And I think that's the whole idea of what I'm trying to get across here, is you have to see the difference between value and non-value added work. And in large measure, most of what's going on here is non-value. So you've got the supervisor there, he's probably not very happy with me. And then you've got one guy holding the board and the other guy hammering. You got another guy over here on the left looking, and basically just a whole bunch of non-value added activity. And then on top of that, this guy's beating the form together with a nail when really he should be using a screw and a screw gun. It goes together, comes apart easier, and you're not beating up the formwork. So here's the guy cutting the rebar. You can see this should have all been jigged and fixtured very simply, to just put in a saw and then just cut it with a stop. But now every time he's got to take the tape measure out and then put the marks on there and mark it really carefully. And gosh, it's just crazy how hard he's working to do something so simple. And these are the kinds of things we want to pay attention to. And then you're going to see here he's going to use his foot as a clamp. So just lots of struggle. There's much easier ways to work than this. And so at the end of the day, we asked them to clean up everything and improve everything. And we came back at the end of the day, they built workbenches, they cleaned up this entire area. It was so much better than it was when we went there the first time. Now look at all these people here. I want you to notice and observe all the non-value added activity. All these people walking around. Walking and moving things is not value. You got all these people standing, walking. You got one guy bending over. I think there's one guy maybe adding value here. The rest of everybody else, who knows what they're doing. And this is just a common sight on job sites. I see a lot of people standing around and not really in an environment where the process has been set up cleanly so people can work efficiently. And the tough thing about this is, this is a beautiful day in Kazakhstan. The weather's great. You're not dealing with the adversity of all the cold. And you want to take advantage of these days. And to have processes and systems that have not been well defined and set up, and to lose that valuable time in this beautiful weather is just a huge mistake. Look at these guys over here. I mean, look at the number of people here that are not actually producing anything. They're just struggling to do something so simple as put together a form. Now we're going to switch gears.
What waste did you see in that video? Did the work look harder than it needed to be? Was the work area a mess? Was there any waiting, defects, overprocessing, extra movement, or transportation waste that could have been eliminated? What would you do as a group to make that work easier? So discuss as a group what you would do to make the work easier so that the waste can be eliminated, and then apply it to the work that you're going to do to see how you can eliminate waste in the work that you do.